Sigma females know this very well. They realize that in a noisy, chaotic world filled with drama and harmful behaviors, the strongest move they can make is to safeguard their own peace. Choosing not to stay in touch isn't about being weak or avoiding problems. It's a thoughtful, unashamed decision to take back their energy, time, and emotional health. If you identify as a Sigma, you've probably reached a point where you're tired of all the games, manipulation, or the endless draining of your resources. You value your independence and have discovered that some connections are simply not worth maintaining. It's not about punishing others, it's about putting yourself first. You've come to see that people don't often change, and your time is too precious to waste. This video is for anyone curious to understand the tough reasons why Sigma females decide to distance themselves. It's an invitation to recognize your power, trust your gut feelings, and live without apologies. Watch and understand why this method is more empowering than ever. Dear precious ones, remember the saying, you don't have to give your energy to anyone who doesn't respect your space. Let's jump right in. Number 1. Energy drainers are suddenly cut off. Some individuals seem to only bring stress and negativity into others' lives, filling their interactions with drama or constant demands. A Sigma female simply won't stand for such draining influences. She doesn't linger in the hope that people will improve or attempt to mend those who revel in turmoil. As soon as she detects someone weighing her down or weakening her energy, she decisively cuts ties, quickly, quietly, and permanently. A Sigma female treats her energy as something exceptionally valuable. She understands that her energy is essential for achieving her goals, pursuing her passions, and maintaining her peace. She protects it rigorously. It's not that she lacks kindness or empathy. Rather, she is keenly aware of how harmful toxic relationships can be to her health. Why should she justify her feelings to someone who misinterprets her words or ignores their consequences? Why remain in any relationship, whether it's romantic, friendly, or professional, that leaves her feeling depleted and dissatisfied? For a Sigma, the response is straightforward. She refuses to endure it. Her choice to cut off contact is a measure of self-care, not spite or vengeance. She doesn't broadcast her exit or engage in explosive farewells because she sees no value in expending more energy on those who have already cost her too much. Her quiet departure is not merely an avoidance of conflict, it is a bold assertion of her independence. To those not in her close circle, it may appear sudden or even severe when she vanishes from sight, but for her, it's crucial. She understands that guarding her inner calm isn't self-centered, it's vital. Sigma females flourish by placing their own emotional well-being above what others think or expect. If you don't add positivity to her life, or if you deplete it, expect to be removed without any prior notice or justification. Number 2, she values actions more than words. For a Sigma female, actions matter more than words. She easily spots false promises and quickly dismisses any excuses. She isn't naturally distrustful. Rather, she has learned from experience that actions speak louder than words, and that these are what truly count. If someone's words don't match their actions, she won't try to make sense of it. She simply moves on. She values effort and responsibility highly. If someone commits to something, they need to follow through. If they say they care, their actions must show it. She's not interested in figuring out if someone is sincere. For her, consistent actions are the real measure of a person. If consistency is lacking, she takes it as a clear warning to leave and not look back. A Sigma female avoids drama and doesn't give many second chances. If someone doesn't live up to their words, she doesn't stick around hoping they'll change. Instead, She prioritizes her own peace and moves on. Her strength comes from holding others and herself to a high standard of accountability. This approach isn't about being harsh. It values truthfulness and uprightness. A Sigma female thinks that trust doesn't come from eloquent talks or sincere sorries. It's developed through deeds that reflect true aims. If someone regularly fails to meet expectations, she doesn't waste time justifying her departure. She doesn't have to. Their actions, or the absence of them, make everything clear. Life is too brief to spend on those who fail to meet their promises. Number 3. When a Sigma female is done, she might move and change her phone number. When a Sigma female reaches her breaking point, she doesn't just create boundaries, she transforms her environment entirely. If her tranquility or progress is threatened, she bravely makes major changes, even if it means uprooting her entire life, changing her contact details, ending harmful relationships, or moving to a new place. For her, this isn't an overreaction. It's a sensible step towards regaining her mental and emotional health. She doesn't act on a whim. By the time she makes these changes, she has thoroughly thought them through, far more than most people would. She has considered her options, evaluated the negative influences around her, and concluded that nothing can be fixed. For a Sigma female, it's not about escaping or concealing. It's about starting anew where she can flourish without needless interruptions. What makes her actions impactful is her decisiveness. She doesn't linger waiting for improvements that she knows won't come. She recognizes that staying in a harmful environment, whether it's a relationship, a job, or even her own hometown, will only hinder her capabilities. She's prepared to do what many fear, abandon what's known to embrace growth and peace. Changing her phone number is as much a meaningful gesture as it is a practical one. She moves away to show that she's no longer available to those who've held her back. Moving to a new place is a total reset, putting her beyond reach from anything that has dragged her down in the past. This isn't about getting back at anyone or proving something. It's about her need to survive and flourish. When a Sigma female reaches her limit, she puts herself first in ways that might seem drastic to some, but for her, these steps are essential, not excessive. She's ready to begin anew, confident that her own independence and inner strength will be her guide. To all the unique individuals out there, many of us have either made this choice before, are thinking about it now, or are already living it. Remember, you're not alone. My advice to you is this: keep your conscience clear so that when you act, you feel content and joyful, not burdened by guilt. Your soul deserves the peace that comes with making the best decision. Number 4. She isn't a bad character. She's her own champion. A Sigma female doesn't intend to harm anyone or create drama when she decides to cut off contact. She's not interested in getting back at someone or messing around. It's really just about looking after herself. She values her worth and understands that maintaining her peace is most crucial. If someone's actions, words, or behavior pose a risk to her emotional or mental health, she finds it easy to step away without feeling guilty or needing to apologize. Putting herself first doesn't make her the bad guy. It actually shows she's taking charge of her own happiness. She realizes that sometimes the best way to manage her life is by letting go of things or people that pull her down. Whether it involves ending a harmful relationship, distancing herself from a manipulative friend, or leaving behind a situation that no longer benefits her, she does it swiftly. What others might view as unkind or distant, she sees as essential. She knows that for her personal growth and happiness, she needs to create a space where her well-being is a priority. This approach might lead to some misunderstandings with others, but she's okay with that. She doesn't shape her life around others' opinions or feel the need to justify her decisions to those who don't truly care about her well-being. By cutting off contact, she's not acting as a victim or looking to hurt anyone. She's simply choosing to prioritize herself. She understands that taking care of herself is crucial, not selfish. Even if others don't get it, it's clear to her. Her own peace, well-being and joy are her top priorities. She's not the bad guy in her own life. Instead, she's brave enough to leave behind things that don't help her anymore. Number 5. She understands that people rarely change. The Sigma female doesn't cling to the false hope that people will change. While some may offer multiple chances, hoping that someone might suddenly grow or become different, she understands the tough truth that people usually stay the same in important ways. She doesn't spend her time expecting miracles or giving countless chances for someone to get better. Instead, she sees things as they truly are, accepts people as they come, and if they reveal their true nature, she moves on. She isn't negative, she's simply being realistic. She believes that everyone must grow on their own, and it's not her responsibility to change anyone. If someone shows a harmful behavior, inconsistency, or doesn't respect others, she doesn't buy into the illusion that one day they'll understand everything all at once. For her, it's not about setting ultimatums or waiting for someone to have a sudden realization. It's about understanding that her time, energy, and inner peace are too precious to waste on someone who won't change unless they decide to do it themselves. Some people might stay in tough situations, hoping for improvement or trying to make someone realize their mistakes. However, a Sigma female understands that staying only delays the unavoidable outcome. If a person isn't making an effort to change or improve, she doesn't linger. Instead, she ends the relationship and moves on, focusing her energy on people and situations that match her values. For a Sigma female, recognizing the truth and having the courage to let go when necessary is crucial. We deeply value every single one of you as a cherished part of our community. Your unwavering support inspires us and drives our commitment to creating impactful content. Thank you for your involvement and uplifting encouragement. Number 6. She prioritizes self-care above all. Sigma females are experts at looking after themselves, and this isn't about being self-centered. It's about staying strong. They realize the tough reality that if they don't look out for themselves, nobody else will. The world is indifferent to whether they feel overwhelmed, tired, or troubled, so they've had to take control of their own lives. When their mental well-being or tranquility is at risk from anyone, be it a deceptive friend, a harmful relationship, or anyone else who saps their strength, they won't hesitate to break off contact. This isn't an impulsive move, but a crucial action to maintain their mental and emotional health. For Sigma females, the notion of always putting others first is unfamiliar. They understand that without setting limits and safeguarding their own energy, they will gradually be lost in the turmoil of other people's expectations. The relentless push to satisfy others, to fit in, or to sacrifice their own needs for others does not agree with them. They will sever ties with anyone or anything that threatens their serenity, even if doing so is tough or frowned upon. She doesn't take these decisions lightly, but she understands that if she avoids making them, she'll feel exhausted, bitter, and won't be at her best. The reality is, for Sigma females, survival isn't about conforming to expectations or societal norms. It's about looking after their mental and emotional health, which sometimes involves leaving behind people or situations that might be misunderstood by others. Choosing no contact is a way to reclaim control by declaring, "I'm prioritizing myself because ultimately I'm the one who must deal with the outcomes of my choices." It's harsh, but essential, because without safeguarding oneself, there's no solid base to prosper. And for a Sigma female, prospering is absolutely essential. Number 7. She doesn't get into arguments, she just removes the problem. A Sigma female doesn't spend time trying to prove her value, explain her decisions, or defend her limits to others. She understands her worth and doesn't need to debate with anyone who can't recognize it. Instead of getting dragged into tiresome discussions or feeling the need to defend herself, she chooses silence and keeps her distance. If someone challenges her intentions, disregards her limits, or belittles her, she doesn't retaliate. She simply moves on. In her view, real actions mean more than any argument. She trusts that if people really care and understand her, it will show in how they act. No amount of shouting or repeated opinions can influence her. She views arguments as exhausting snares that trap her in other people's stories. Rather than participate, she steps away from the conflict. Her departure isn't about dodging the issue. It's a conscious decision to safeguard her tranquility and invest her efforts in what really counts. When she decides to cut someone off, it isn't out of spite or vengeance. It's her way of maintaining her boundaries smoothly, without fuss. She feels no need to provide extensive reasons or engage in prolonged conflicts. Her actions, such as walking away, deliver a much stronger statement than any words could. This way of acting might surprise or annoy others, but she doesn't mind. She isn't trying to argue or gain approval. She is simply being herself, openly and honestly. By staying out of useless arguments, she keeps her power and boosts her self-esteem. When a Sigma female stays quiet, it's not because she's weak, it shows her strength. And if she decides to cut someone off, it's clear. She puts her tranquility above the need to make a point to someone who isn't worth her time. Number 8. Drama is like a language she won't learn. For a Sigma female, drama is like a language she doesn't want to learn. She has zero tolerance for it. All the unnecessary noise, meaningless arguments, and emotional manipulation others engage in. That's not for her. She's built a life focused on peace and clarity and won't let anyone pull her into pointless disputes. When she encounters someone who loves drama, she sees it as nothing more than a distraction, a total waste of her time and energy, which she prefers to save. She steers clear of petty quarrels and doesn't seek approval by being the center of attention or arguments. If drama arises around her, she won't bother arguing or defending herself. Instead, she quietly steps away. No detailed explanations, no confrontations, just silently slipping away without any lingering stress. She feels no need to prove her worth or keep people in her life who thrive on conflict. Her peace of mind is too valuable to be spent on emotional battles. To her, drama signals insecurity and a lack of maturity, and she chooses to stay clear of it. She doesn't need the drama. She doesn't want to be part of anyone's chaos. If she's pulled into drama, she quickly recognizes it and removes herself, even if it means distancing herself from people she once felt close to. When a Sigma female decides she's had enough of the drama, she doesn't second-guess her decision. She steps away and shuts the door behind her, reinforcing her steadfast belief. Her peace is essential and non-negotiable. Number 9. She keeps full control over her own story. When a Sigma female decides to stop communicating, it isn't a sudden act of running away. It's a calculated decision to take control of her own life. She's not backing down because she's scared or weak. She's actively deciding how her life should progress. Each interaction and every individual she lets into her life helps mold her identity. If someone conflicts with her principles, her goals, or her self-image, they pose a risk to her personal story. Cutting off contact is her way of shielding her tranquility and preserving her mental and emotional health from harmful influences. She realizes that keeping people around who don't respect her boundaries is like letting them write parts of her life story that shouldn't be there. Others might attempt to label her based on their judgments, their views, or their schemes, but she won't let anyone wield that influence. As soon as she notices someone twisting her reality or dragging her into a story that hinders her progress, she ends the relationship immediately, without wavering. This isn't about holding grudges. She's staying true to herself, valuing her own worth too much to let anyone else reshape it for her. Choosing to cut ties isn't about leaving people behind. Instead, it's a rejection of the notion that someone else can define who she is. It's a quiet yet strong protest against those who believe they can lessen her or alter her journey. It's her way of declaring, "I write my own story. I decide who stays, who leaves, and who has a role in my future. Nobody else has the right to hold the pen." Number 10. She places her emotional independence above all else. For a Sigma female, being emotionally independent is essential, not just a choice. It's crucial for her well-being, helping her stay focused, calm, and strong. She has learned from tough experiences that letting others control her feelings means losing her own identity. When dealing with a manipulative friend, a harmful relationship, or anyone who takes her emotional effort without giving back, she spots the danger right away. These individuals don't just occupy her time, they sap her energy, twist her emotions, and disturb her peace of mind. That's why she adopts a no-contact policy. It's more than just a decision, it's a way to protect herself. The Sigma female realizes that without emotional stability, her very identity begins to crumble. She ends up reacting to other people's feelings, needs, and demands, forgetting her own ambitions and wishes. The ongoing emotional turmoil can make her feel disorganized, overwhelmed, and tired. Choosing no contact is her method of reclaiming control, distancing herself from those who might distract her or upset her emotional well-being. This isn't about being unfeeling or distant. It's about letting her experience her emotions in her own way, without others stepping in. She does best when she can handle her own emotions, when she's among people who honor her personal space and don't play with her feelings. She prospers. This is about shaping a life where her emotional well-being is influenced by her own thoughts, deeds, and contemplations, not by someone else's issues or negative vibes. For the Sigma female, having a calm mind and clear emotions is incredibly important. So if someone disturbs that peace, even without meaning to, she understands that pulling back is the best way to maintain her integrity. Avoiding contact isn't about escaping from everyone else. It's about shielding herself from influences that would disrupt her ability to flourish on her own, free from the mess of other people's lives. Number 11. She fosters connections that enrich, not exhaust. A Sigma female is selective about the company she keeps, emphasizing quality over quantity. She surrounds herself with people who uplift, inspire, and reciprocate kindness. She's not interested in gathering a crowd. She seeks connections that bring joy and growth. If someone is only around during the good times or when they need something, she quickly sees the imbalance. For her, friendships and relationships must be mutual, nurturing environments where both parties benefit. If a connection becomes one-sided or starts to drain her, she doesn't hesitate to step back and reassess its place in her life. This isn't about being harsh. It's about ensuring her emotional environment is populated by those who genuinely care and contribute positively to her life. Number 12. Her decisions reflect her self-worth. The Sigma female makes choices that align with her high self-esteem. She doesn't compromise on her standards or settle for less than she deserves, whether it's in her personal life or professional endeavors. If a situation doesn't respect her worth, or if someone tries to undermine her value, she doesn't stick around to persuade them otherwise. She knows her value and acts accordingly, making decisions that affirm her worth and dismiss anything that doesn't meet her standards. This approach isn't about arrogance. It's about respecting herself enough to refuse anything that doesn't enhance her life. By always choosing actions that align with her self-respect, she preserves her dignity and inspires others to treat her with the respect she truly deserves. Ultimately, choosing to have no contact is not just an option for Sigma females. It represents a deep commitment to valuing oneself and maintaining personal boundaries. It's about recognizing that your peace, energy, and time are invaluable. Sigma females are aware of their worth and refuse to spend their valuable resources on relationships or situations that do not contribute to their personal growth or happiness. They confidently step away from anything that conflicts with their principles, doing so without feeling sorry and with the understanding that their well-being is non-negotiable. As a Sigma, you've learned the crucial skill of putting yourself first, even when others expect you to explain, justify, or remain in toxic situations. You appreciate the need for clear boundaries and follow your instincts, which guide you away from what no longer belongs in your life. Your strength is rooted in the silent assurance that ending connections is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of your strength at work. If this approach and the straightforward reality of how Sigma females manage relationships resonate with you, remember, you are not alone. There's a whole community of unique individuals like you who cherish independence, authenticity, and personal advancement. If you're prepared to fully embrace your strength and connect with those who truly understand the importance of putting yourself first, come join us. Together, we will continue to evolve, safeguard our tranquility, and flourish without needing to justify ourselves. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye, stay blessed, and as always, until next time.